pioneers in many ways. Several events are very unique, but few things are completely unprecedented. It's important to grasp this concept. While we can't really change the past, learning from it can help shape our future to be brighter. There are many good things around us, and we should take time to notice them. However, I am not going to avoid sharing context to current challenges we face as a society. With this knowledge, with faith, hope, trust in God, and a willingness to do what He knows is best for us, we will succeed. This video series will cover many instances where precedence can give us guidance for today, and it can help us to find the truth. Many today are claiming that if you question the integrity of this election, then you're a traitor. My response is, not so fast. There are three writings that determine what can happen, and it's not 100% clear how these three are to work for our present situation. But like I said, there is precedence. Unfortunately, the courts haven't clarified much, but eventually they may have to make a ruling.
Ms. Tubb Jones, a representative from Ohio, and Mrs. Boxer, a senator from California, object to the counting of the electoral votes of the state of Ohio on the ground that they were not under all of the known circumstances regularly given.
Mr. President.
Senator from California.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. For most of us in the House and in the Senate, we have spent our lives fighting for things we believe in, always fighting to make our nation better. We may not agree from time to time, but we're always fighting to make our nation better. We have fought for social justice. We have fought for economic justice. We have fought for environmental justice. We have fought for criminal justice. Now we must add a new fight, the fight for electoral justice. Every citizen of this, the greatest country in the world, who is registered to vote should be guaranteed that their vote matters, that their vote is counted. So now it seems to me that under our great Constitution of the United States of America, that we swear allegiance to uphold, which guarantees the right to vote, that we must ask certain questions. Why is it when 638 people voted at a precinct in Franklin County, a voting machine awarded 4,258 extra votes to George Bush? Thankfully, they fixed it. Only 628 people had shown up, but George Bush got more than 4,000 votes. How could that happen?
And I don't believe that the objection the junior senator from the state of California has raised will be sustained this afternoon, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't discuss it and that we shouldn't do something about it in the future to assure that when the votes are counted, that we know that everybody has had a fair chance to cast their ballot and that there's no tinkering with it. And with that, I yield the floor.
Recognition.
Mr. President.
Senator from New York.
Mr. President, this is obviously a difficult debate for many reasons, but I commend the senator from California for joining with members of the House, most particularly Congresswoman Stephanie Tubbs Jones, in raising the objection, because it does permit us to air some of these issues, something that I believe is necessary for the smooth functioning of our democracy and the integrity of the most precious right of any citizen, namely the right to vote. As we look at our election system, I think it's fair to say that there are many legitimate questions about its accuracy, about its integrity, and they're not confined to the state of Ohio. They are ones that have arisen throughout our country, and certainly because of the election of 2000, have been given high relief in the last 4 years. And then questions were raised additionally with respect to this election, which deepened the concern of many people about whether or not we can assure the continuity of our democratic process by ensuring the consent of the governed and the acceptance of the results of elections. This year, we will celebrate the anniversary of the Voting Rights Act, and it will be an opportunity for us to take a look at this landmark legislation and determine how we're going to move it into the 21st century so that it really stands for what it was intended to do when it was first passed. I would be standing here saying this no matter what the outcome of the election, because I still think the best rule in politics is the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I worry whether it's a Democratic or Republican administration or a local, county, state, or federal election, that we are on a slippery slope as a nation. My colleague, Senator Boxer, and I, along with former Senator Bob Graham of Florida, introduced legislation last year to try to assure a verifiable paper audit. We didn't get anywhere with that. We didn't get a hearing before the Rules Committee, and I would hope that the distinguished chair of the Rules Committee would hold such a hearing this year. Because if we can go and buy a lottery ticket or go to a bank and get an ATM deposit, then we know we can use an electronic transfer mechanism that gives us a record. That is just one of the many issues that we can deal with technologically.
Now, I can't tell you how this week is going to work out, but what I can tell you is that there is precedence for questioning an election. There is precedence for sending dual slates of electors, such as Hawaii in 1960. What happened is Vice President Nixon actually picked his opponent in that state. He picked the votes that selected John F. Kennedy. And Kennedy was going to win anyways, either way. So a lot of people point to Nixon as doing something very respectful there. So we'll see how Vice President Mike Pence decides to approach this. I don't think the chances of and Trump being reelected are that good, but it is possible. There is also always a possibility that the Supreme Court comes in and shakes things up with a ruling. So basically, Inauguration Day is looking to be the deadline. Stay civil, everyone. Don't get too excited. This is going to be a hard time for everyone. God bless America.
To bring the truth to light is our challenge, this day and every day.